Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Britballin. Hi Tash, how's it going?
Hi, I am tired but good.
Yeah, you've been
Tired
on a
but
long
good.
day today, haven't you?
Been first day back in the office,
It
all the way
happens.
up in Hertfordshire.
You'll be all right. I'm just glad you joined us.
Yeah.
Mike's skiving.
Well, I got a bit worried at one point because when your petrol gets so low that you're like, oh, I've got 25 miles left on the motor. Can I? And it got to the point where I was like, I can't. And then I looked at the arrival time and I was like, this could go one way or the other. I could break down and end up doing the show on the side of the road, or take a 3-minute stop and go get petrol. I went for
And
the
pay
petrol.
like £4 a litre on fuel. That's great, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't the best, but it
Yeah.
got me here, and I'm not currently sitting on the side of a motorway doing the show.
We've already had a nomination come in for one of the quarterbacks. So obviously today we are ranking British
God.
quarterbacks. James Robson, one last entry. Adam Wilkin away at Aberdeen. Yes!
You're a QB now, then, yeah?
No, definitely not. But it is my claim to fame that I am the fattest QB in Britball history. So I am keeping that. I will take that. If that can get us in the top 5, I'm happy.
I hate to say it, but no.
Look at that, you just broke me heart.
I know. I'm ruining dreams over here. Like, just cutthroat.
I know, I'm devastated. I'm not going to lie, I'm devastated. I mean, Toby Chester will be very happy. Look at this. Look, more love. Not going to lie, was on fire at Aberdeen. I was. I mean, we got hammered by more than 50 points, but I was on fire up at Aberdeen.
Did you get MVP? That's the question.
Well, I was also head coach that game, so yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
You gave it to yourself.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, definitely.
I might do that if I ever coach. I might just step on the field and be like, so the MVP is me.
Yeah.
Thanks.
There was honestly, we were so low on numbers that game. There was at one point where I'd got hurt. I got absolutely clattered off this big. I'm sure he was about 19 foot tall. This bloke that was playing for Aberdeen, absolutely clattered us. Hurt my ankle, and I looked over at the sideline. You just seen everyone else going. There's no one else to come on. I'm sorry. So I was like, well, referee, I'm going to use my timeout now so I can have a minute before I can carry on getting battered. Thanks very much.
I love it how that's where it gets to. It's look at the sideline.
Yeah, they were just like, sorry, it's you, mate. It's you. I was like, all right, cheers. Thanks very much.
I mean, if you had to carry on and you were that bad, you could have just laid on the floor and they could have snapped the ball to you and just.
Well, to be fair,
Fling.
I think at one point, I think we had like a receiver snapping us the ball and stuff. Like we were low on numbers that day, so there was pretty much that was going on.
I've been in those situations. I have been in those situations. So like I think I had to step in at shotgun QB once. I can't throw a ball, so it's like you step in and you go, just gonna run every time.
Well, I just want to remind everyone that is watching, if you could drop us a share or hit that exclamation point notify. Look, ready, bang, and you'll be reminded when we go live. Little shares, tag people in the comments that you think we should be talking about today. It's all about the quarterbacks. We are touching on pretty much every aspect of British American football today. So let's see what happens there.
I'm looking forward to it because I think that what we said already is there might be some unhappy people, but these are our thoughts. These are our thought processes. We're not the masters of the QB at all. So we're talking about what we think.
It's just,
and I'm worried.
if you think we have missed someone on these lists, instead of giving us death threats like happened on when we done our North versus South game, like maybe just drop us some Tash, get ready, like the hate is coming. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I'm gonna go put everything on private right now.
Yeah, honestly,
gonna go shut off my social media.
Yeah, do it. Honestly, you're gonna get some hate today, Tash. I'm not even joking.
Fantastic. Building my thick skin.
So we are going to keep it quite a short show just because realistically, we're going to talk about the QBs and then we're going to run and hide and lock doors and things. So, oh, look at this. This is my QB here. Wilkin is a quarterback whisperer. I'm like, please throw the fucking ball.
Isn't that what most coaches do to QBs?
Just pass the damn ball. He's open.
It's when the QBs always want to keep it because they look down and you can see three receivers and they go, I want to run with it this time. And you're there like...
Well, that today has actually dropped some people out of our rankings today. So let's see what happens. So what we're going to do, for everyone watching, we are going to actually start with our youth quarterbacks first. So we're going to rank the youth guys. And then we're going to run to junior. And then I think we're going flag. And then women's, and then adult. So the reason what we're doing that is because youth guys, you've got school tomorrow. So once you've listened to your rankings, you just can start off the bed if you want, or you can stay. It's up to you. But this will be on Spotify tomorrow, so you just can have a little plug and listen back there if you need to. Oh, are you ready to go, Tash? Ready for the hate?
I think so. I mean,
are you sure?
Yeah. I mean, I've had a long day. Like, if you're gonna send me hate, at least send me nice hate. Like. Just like, just maybe like one word. That's it. That's all I can deal with today.
Don't send me it. I'm not a bad day. You heard Tash.
You'll just send it back.
Yeah, you can send it to Tash. Like that's all I need.
I'll end up saying thank you because I'm so polite. I'll send thank you with a smile. Like, I won't know what to do.
I know also that we are going to be joined by our Britballin tubes at some point. So I don't know when that's going to be. No one knows. He'll come in. He'll ask his question. I actually cleared the question today, so I know what it is, and I know that it's to Tash. So
is it a banger?
I think it's just funny. I just think it's the most random question ever, and I'm really enjoying that I know what it is. It's not bad. I promise it's not bad. Good. So we're going to touch off with youth quarterback coming in at number 5. Are you ready for this? Everyone watching. Here's what we're going to say. So youth quarterback coming in at number 5. I couldn't separate two people. I couldn't separate them. You know what it is, right? It's really bad of it because I had someone set in stone for this position. In fact, I was a tear up between two guys. Okay, so there's a young lad that plays up in Edinburgh that is very young, had his first season last year. I think it was like 14, 15 touchdowns that he got last year, and he was in there for me, like, bang, like he was going to be the guy. And then another guy came in, I was like, oh, I thought you were junior. No, you played youth last year. So we're going on last year, by the way, or the last year we got to play. So that's affected some of these rankings big time. So yeah, I can't separate two. I mean, I had a new guy that I'd not seen before send us his film, and I was just like, shit, why didn't you send us this earlier? Like, it would have been so much easier. Like, by the way, just to let you all know, I'd made graphics, right? I'd got you all graphics. I was going to put it out on the Instagram. I'd done it all. I spent hours doing it for you. And then my list changed, so you're going to have to wait for your graphics. But it'll come out in the next couple of days. It's what happens when you send us late film. Don't send us late film. But the two guys coming in here is Reef Robbins, who's playing at Bristol. So we've got Reef in there. Now, he was my late entry. He came in really late. I really like the way that he throws the ball. Like, it's just, on his film, it was a very pretty ball. Like, he looks like a quarterback. He's built like a quarterback. Like, he's just, he's a quarterback. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got that in him. Like, when I spoke to him, I was like, listen, I've not like heard of you and I've not like seen this before. And he was like, oh, don't worry about it. He was like, I didn't make the GB team when we tried out, but this was me then. This is me now. And I was just like, yeah, I got that. Like, this guy's, he's packed on some beef. Like, he's, you can tell he's been hitting the gym. He's doing very well. So we've got to put him in there. Also, what we've got in there, we've got Harry Coyne. I think that's how you pronounce it. Coyne. I can't say your name. Sorry, Harry. But we've got Harry there. I think he's also at Bristol as well, if I remember rightly. And this guy, I think he's in the GB setup. Hell of a player. Harry's between this guy and these guys and the guys I've got in it for. in 3, in 2, and 1. They're all pretty close. I'm not gonna lie, you know.
Literally. I was just thinking, I was like, when you said earlier, you're just like, I couldn't really decide. I could probably put any of them in any place, and you're just like,
oh, I'm definitely gonna get hate off some of them. Like, there will be some hate, but I just hope that everyone's gonna know now that we are doing the rankings now, and then we're gonna do another one midway through the season. So if your coaches don't film, tell them, listen, we're getting ranked off Britballin. I want the footage. All right?
That's big time. Like, that's big time. They've got to do something. I think the big thing is with this as well is when it came to us ranking all of them, and this isn't even like just for like the junior and like for the youth and stuff like that. When you're looking at like who you actually need to put in places, there is nowhere to actually like look at stats of like and actually like, I mean, on the NFL you've also got fantasy. We're not at that point yet, but even with college you can still see stats. We're not at that point yet, but you just want somewhere that is that you're able to actually visualize what each of these players are like, so you can look at them against each other rather than having to somehow show up for every single game day, all the time to see how these QBs are actually performing. And I think it's like with every player, like I think that's kind of the next step in what you're wanting, isn't it? Like what we're wanting from as spectators and players and coaches. You're wanting the opportunity to actually be able to see these players and be able to review them, but have people on the podcast and the podcast actually being able to review them.
I'll tell you what I'm hoping for the most, right? I really, really hope. Big Callum from Edinburgh Napier Knights Youth and Junior Team. Yeah, Callum, he's the guy that I was speaking about before. Like, that guy is a really good talent. I would just like to see some deeper passes, if I'm honest. If I've seen some deeper balls, like, obviously, they've drove down the field and they've got a lot of touchdowns from closer. If he had got me some footage where it was even him just passing to a mate in the park and I got to see something, he would be in this list. It's as simple as that. Like, I couldn't pull away from the three of them. So that's John that came in with that comment. I know that his coach as well was really like, you need this quarterback in here. He's class. Like, here's the footage. Here's this. And I was like, yeah, he's freaking good. Like, I'm not going to lie. He's a good player. So when I'm talking about youth football now, like, I think the future is massive. Like, we've got some real talent coming through. So,
I mean, all of these players as well are so lucky that there is the NFL Academy now.
Yeah,
that they
NFL
can actually
Academy.
aspire to jump up to.
Bristol Pride. Yeah. Watch this. We've said Bristol Pride. So we're waiting in the chat for a Rural Pride now. So just whenever we get that, we'll pull them up. So we're gonna move on to quarterback 4 anyways until we get our Bristol Prides. I love it. I love when the Rural Prides come in. It's so funny. You just get like 14,000 comments of Rural Pride. So our next quarterback that we're putting in here for youth is another guy that is we're getting the Rural Pride. There's Reef. Well done. Congratulations on making the list, by the way. Very impressed with your footage. We've got Kieran. Kieran's one of my former guys. Kieran. Oh, by the way, I'm doing this now live. Sorry about this, everyone. But Kieran, your mom's been on the phone to us. She's been messaging us. Get out, get in the gym and start doing your runs again, son. She's been on the phone. I'm not happy. Get off the podcast now. You can listen back on Spotify tomorrow. Get on your run now. Right, sorry. Back to quarterback. Defensive line, there's another D in offensive line. He's playing both. So, quarterback 4 now. I'm sorry, I had to do that.
No, it's...
Everyone in Pride now is going like, oh, God, Kieran's mom phoned him while he was on a podcast. Right, so we got a comment. Roll Pride, Harry. Harry, congratulations on making the list, by the way. You've done really well. Keep up the good work. Number 4. Chris, there we go. There's his mom. Look, yes. Emma, I know I haven't viewed your message yet, but I've just seen it, so I was doing this. I do apologize.
Oh, this is great. This is
Kieran, he's done you dirty.
Gold. This is golden.
It's how I roll. You know what I mean? Like, sorry. So coming in at number 4, we've got Will Lacy. Will Lacy, honestly, like, we had so much love for Will in the DMs. I'm not going to lie. Will's a fantastic quarterback. Looking at his film as well and his footage is big potential for Will. Rate you, Will. Rate you a lot. Well done. Keep up the good work. I don't want to just keep going like, oh, you have done fantastic. You have done brilliant. Get me more film. Get me more film. These numbers can change. If you're not on the list, or if you're at a number that you're not happy about, put the grind in. Keep going. The numbers aren't set in stone. Okay, we want them moving constantly. Okay, if needed, just tell your coach, like, I'm sorry, I'm checking out with that run play. I've got this ball on now. I'm throwing it. Sorry. No, don't do that. Listen to your coach. So I've got Kieran's auntie here. Go, Adam. Sorry, Kieran. I'm devastated. I've ruined the show. I've ruined it. I'm sorry, Kieran.
That's it. Now we're just gonna talk to Kieran's family.
Yeah.
Just gonna send us more comments. We'll just have a chat with you. Apparently, the QBs are gone now. Like, no rating of the QBs. Just gonna chat to Kieran's family.
Well, honestly, if you have not had a look at Will's footage, okay, Will, I tell you what, if any of the quarterbacks here are watching now, drop your social media in the comments, okay? Tag up your Instagram. We'll share it now. Hopefully, we can get you some more love from the Britball community. So, honestly, check out their footage. Next up, okay, so if we're jumping straight from 4 into 3, another guy that had so much love. Oh, wait there. Hussein. I wouldn't let him audible. Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't. You're not audible. That's why I said I was joking, right? Don't do that. No audibles allowed on my team. So, jumping in at number 3. This is going to be the worst show ever. I'm so sorry.
Oh, literally. It's fine. I'll just sit here and laugh.
Jumping in at number 3, we've got Sam Fenton. I spoke to a few guys about Sam. I looked at some footage of him. I think he's at the NFL Academy as well, if I'm right. Some footage of him there. There's some GB stuff out there. Like, he's a quality quarterback. Like, quality. Like, I can't really. I'm not going to be that guy that's going to go and pick fault. Like, we're not going to do that here. Like, we're not going to say, oh, you need to do this to get better.
You're the coach. I just kind of sit here for the ride.
Yeah,
like.
but I'm not their coach today. I'm just podcast host or vodcast. Sorry, vodcast.
Podcast, yeah.
Or if you're listening on Spotify, this is a podcast. Right, but Sam Fenton, absolute baller. That's all I'm saying. Baller. GB coaches had plenty of good things to say about him as well, so you know that this guy is putting in the grind, we'll see. Going on to number 2, Tash, right, is well, I think people in the chat know who I'm going to go for, if I'm honest, already, right? And that's this guy is. When I asked the other coaches about this, he was one of the guys. It was like a toss-up, 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm putting this guy in there at 2, just on the footage that I've seen, on word of other coaches, and that's Josh Olsbrook from Tamworth. I had the privilege of watching a bit of Josh at finals a few years ago, and he stood head and shoulders above the rest, like in height, athletic ability, cannon of an arm, like hell of a player. Very good future for Josh as well. Like I said before, I think this crop of QBs, we'll see. Look at that, I'm getting into all farmer talk and things now, but this crop of QBs is unbelievable. So I'm very, very proud. Here we go, Big Josh. Big Josh, we love it. I don't want to call him Big Josh, but I'll call it Big Josh if you want. Coming in at number 1, this is a controversial one because
this is where you're gonna get the hate. This is where you're gonna get the hate.
Yeah, this is where I'm getting the hate, right? Because coming in at number 1, I've got Hussein, my quarterback from Gateshead.
Of course, you're gonna think your quarterback's the number 1.
I am, but I'm not gonna just say like I picked him because he's my quarterback. Like I want that to be clear now. Like I've seen this kid put in the work because obviously he's my quarterback, but I've also seen him put in the work that he's doing away from training. Like a lot of these guys get 2 training sessions a week or 1 training session a week. It depends how many you're going for. I've seen this guy go out on his runs, go on his jogs, get his film together to send over to places in the States, and it's one of those things where I think I'm getting loads of comments now. I'll pull them up as I can. Whoop whoop, Hussein number 1, go on, son. Pride Ballers 1, 2, and 3 soon. I like it.
See, this isn't hate. They're loving it.
This is love. Yeah, I mean,
love.
I feel sorry for Dom thinking that Hussein's going to Pride. He's just been offered offered to go over to the States and play high school ball. But I think that was his backup option, definitely.
But that just backs up the reason why you put him. If he's getting picked, it's this whole like. If people are getting picked up by American high schools already to the point where they're able to then travel over there, get that experience, probably then get drafted straight into college. Like, it backs it up.
Hussein, you heard that word drafted. You don't listen to that yet, son. You go and get that education from high school, and then you work hard and see what happens, okay? Oh, he's saying the Pride players will be 1, 2, and 3 soon. Yeah, you know what it is? I hope so. I hope that he's graft and get it. Like, I really do. I hope it for everyone. Like, keep putting the work in. I hope that the guys can keep putting that effort in and getting the film. Get film. I don't care if you at the park with one of your mates who's a receiver, throw the ball, get it on film. Do everything. There we go. Look at that. See? We had this conversation yesterday, Tash, didn't we?
We did. I think what you're saying with film there, it shows from like when you look at players now who are at the senior level, who are wanting to get drafted in the CFL, who are wanted to get drafted in even the NFL, who are wanting to go off and play in Germany, play in Finland, play in some of the biggest European leagues. They've all got their film together. And if you can get that from a young age and show your progression, you're away, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, right, so we tell all of our guys, this is going to be controversial coach talk time now, right? But we tell all of our guys, don't have goals of playing for our adult team. Like, they're not, that's not good enough, because realistically, we've all seen guys come over and they're like, oh, rookie day, anyone can attend. Don't be anyone. You've already turned up and you've been anyone. You've now put the work in. Aspire to be something better. Go get your education paid for. If anyone's offering to pay for your education, take it. Take it. Put that work in now and take it. That's what
I wish I had somebody pay for my education.
I wish I had an education. That's as simple as that. We've had one come in there. Still need to sort 11-a-side for youth and juniors. That is true. It used to be 11-a-side when I was a kid, right? And it's one of those things where we haven't got enough players now. We've got too many teams in such a close location where it's diluting the talent and things like that. But at the same time, it's developing these quarterbacks. It's developing things going on. What I would like to see personally, this is going so far away from quarterbacks now, by the way. We'll get I'll get there eventually. Sorry. I'd like
this isn't going to be a short show anymore, by the way.
Nah,
I think Adam's
we're going about 4.5 hours now. I hope he's ready for this. No, I think what we need is like a county level. So at youth level, you've all playing your divisions. I think your division should come together maybe a couple of times a year and play 11-a-side against another division.
This women's. Look at Diamond Series. It works. You have a North v South, then they introduced the North, the Midlands, then the South, and it worked.
Yeah, I honestly, I think it'll help the game massively. If it just helps for GB coaches, like if they say to somebody like, "Oh, we need more coaches," and if they say, even if they went right, if you're a GB coach, you can't coach at your county level or like that group together, whatever you want to call it, but use them as development coaches to be then future GB coaches, for example. That's going to work massively. Like
it's giving people something to aspire into, basically. And I think that like when it comes to junior, like, so obviously in women's at the moment, we're still playing some 5, some 7-a-side, and it really helps you get your fundamentals down. Like when I was playing uni ball, I moved then obviously to women's, and I went from 11-a-side then down to playing 5-a-side, and actually playing 5-a-side really helped me understand the need for those fundamentals, and like, so going to a smaller pitch, understanding that actually my cuts are really important, actually understanding my ball placement is really important. I don't just have loads of space to try and sprint off to a sideline or something as of speed back. Like, it's those little things that when you actually start to take it down to a smaller capacity, you can work with people individually, you can work with people one-on-one, you can work with them close and actually get them to that level and help them develop quicker. We've gone off the QBs, sorry.
Everyone that knows me, I'm going to say this on the topic. Everyone that knows me knows that I'm a massive advocate of letting anybody have a chance to play this sport. Anybody. Whether, I mean, I think we charge the least amount of money out of every team in the country for kids to play American football. I would think. I mean, it's zero. So, like, that, I would say that. So, I would say that's. I want to get as many people playing as possible, but I'm also very elitist. I'm not going to lie. I want to be the best at everything. Like, not me personally, like, because if you've seen me play, you know I'm not the best at anything. But it's one of those where if you want to play five-a-side, play a flag asking for a friend. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you do want to play, like, flag is absolutely fine for me. For receivers, it's absolutely brilliant at development. Quarterbacks, it develops as well. I mean, if you look at in the States, quarterbacks are playing seven-a-side non-contact games to show off their skills to get in the likes of Elite 11 or Boom Academy. Receivers are doing the same sort of thing. So flag is ideal. Obviously, for me, playing five-a-side at youth level just allows more people to play. Obviously, we can be more elitist at that 11-a-side thing if we got that to happen. So, because it'd be like a county and selection process would happen. So, I'm all for either, if I'm honest. But we'll go back to a QB talk anyways. QB. So we'll go on to our junior QB5. Right. I've been looking at footage from all over the place, right? And I was actually talking to another quarterback that is on the list. Okay. About other quarterbacks. Oh, wait there. Wait. I'm sorry. We'll do this in a second. Tubes. Got his mic muted. You've got your mic muted, Tubes. Look at this. Look what happens every time he comes on. He's left. He's left. He's disconnected.
Does that mean that I don't have to answer the question?
I hope not. If he doesn't come back, he doesn't come back. I mean, he's still technically here, but we're there.
Oh, here we go.
He's got his mic on now. There, is he back? There we go. Tube, that was the worst entrance you've ever made.
Sorry. It's on me, guys.
Right, Tubes, you've got one question only. I'm good, mate. I am good. How's things?
I sound bloodline.
Right, you've got one question only, and I know it's for Tash this week, so you go ahead, mate.
What's your perfect meal deal?
Oh my god, I love that question. Oh, that is such a good question. Okay, because this could change everything. Like, meal deals are a big one. Okay, hold on. Okay.
This is the worst question ever.
No, I love a meal deal question. No, it's so controversial with how many people pick different things. Okay, well, hold on. Which shop? I'm thinking about it.
Tesco's or Boots. Always go Boots before you go
on the no, Boots. I always go Boots. Okay,
Boots before you go on the flight?
Boots. Right. No, Boots, because you can get more for your money. So with the Boots one, you can get a triple sandwich, a big bag of chocolate buttons, and a drink.
Tash, there are other outlets available. This is not a sponsor.
Okay, normally if I'm going for the Boots one, go for a chicken triple. So normally that's chicken salad, 2 other chicken ones. I think it's chicken and bacon and chicken and something else.
Nothing.
We'll go with that. Yeah, something.
He has his meal deals, doesn't he? He's like...
You can't get wrong with chicken and stuffing.
Right.
And then drink. Normally, I'd go for like...
sorry.
Normally, I'd go for like an Oasis, like the summer fruits one, and then go for the big bag of chocolate buttons that they use. But I haven't had a Boots meal deal in a while, so I don't know if they still do the big bag of chocolate buttons in with the meal deal. But yeah, that.
Right, thanks very much for joining the tune.
Cheers.
See you next week. I told you. I warned you what it was like. I'm
you
sorry.
did warn me that he jumps in at any point. You did.
The junior QBs are sitting there going, will you just fucking tell us how it is? Right. We're going back. I'm so sorry. Right. So, anyways.
I went well too far into that as well. I'm really sorry.
I'm gonna pull these up. We also need more quality QB coach in the UK. Completely agree. What's this? Yeah, the more quality QB coach, the better the UK. It's always rare. Yes, it is. Completely agree. Like, I'm not. I wouldn't say I was like a good QB coach. I'll just ask everyone else that I think might know something about being a QB, and then I take the good bits, and then get rid of the stuff I don't like, and then I look on YouTube and I get the bits I like and get rid of the like simple as that. Like,
I mean, I'm not being funny, but we don't have like what they have in America, where there is that like progression where they're literally playing from such a young age that you can get those QB coaches like that are at such a high level. One day, hopefully, some of the amazing QBs from that are playing at the moment will come back and feed back what they've will feed into the sport, what was given to them.
So, back on the junior QB number 5 rule. So if you are listening on Spotify, right, and you just heard a random bloke join in the stream before, that is our Britballin tubes. And if you want to see our faces there, you can check it out on Facebook or YouTube, because I'll tell you now, I was very, very shocked. But thanks very much, Britball tube. So junior quarterback 5. Right.
Breeze through these. We've got this.
Should we just go flying?
Yes, but give some explanation, but brief.
Right, brief explanation. I asked other junior quarterbacks and I asked former quarterbacks of a lot of different teams and former GB quarterbacks to pick someone. This guy's relatively new, okay? Plays for Birmingham Lions, I think I'm right. It's one of the Birmingham teams, sorry if I get it wrong. Called Joe Rooney. I asked him for some footage, and basically I'd made my mind up that he was going to be on this when I just clicked on his story, and he had some footage from training that day. And I looked at it, and this guy has got an absolute cannon. I'm not even joking. He doesn't even look like he's trying to throw it far, but it's going a mile. Like basically, a rocket.
If you want to get into Adam's top 5 of anything, you just need to throw
Launch it. Let it rip. No, but honestly, like, his footwork was decent as well. Like, I know he's quite new to the sport, and it was very decent for being new to the sport. His coaches, or one of his coaches that I spoke to, had plenty of good things to say about him. I think he's going to do bits this year at junior level. So, very impressed so far. Yeah, let's go on to number 4, shall we?
Yeah.
So, number 4 junior quarterback that we've got in there, Nathan Lester. He could have probably been higher. Not going to lie, he could have been higher. He's a brilliant talent. Very, very good. Good footwork, good hand movement, throws a nice, pretty ball. Very good player. So, he's our player at number 4. Oh, we got a comment coming in. Appreciate it. Joe Rooney. Rooney, mate, I know you're quite new to the sport. Keep up the good work. Honestly, keep putting out the film. Keep getting whoever standing on the sideline to film what you're doing, because it will pay off, I promise. Well done. Jumping in at number... Was that number 4 now? Am I going on?
That was number 4. That was number 4. You're now on to number 3.
I'm so gone. I am so gone now. Right, number 3. Number 3, right, so this is where we're going to start getting into the whole nitty-gritty of it, right? So people are arguing constantly about these top 3. So number 3 for me, I've put Vanderson Diaz in there. Now, I think it's Europe Elite or Elite Britain or whatever it is on Instagram. They had this guy in higher than this. And I could have well put him higher. We've had him on the show. Really good kid. Like, head switched on. Good player, good footwork. I know he's coming back off an injury, and I think that's what probably caused this, if I'm honest. Like, I think he's got real good potential. I think he's had an offer from somewhere out in the States already. Really good kid. Could have went higher. I just want to see more footage, and I want to see him after his injury. QB2, right. Here it is. Don't give us hate for this, right? So I'm telling you now, QB2 at junior level, on my assessment, right? So I picked it, so you can hate on us if you want, but I'll just ignore you anyways, and I'll probably swear at you, so I don't even care, right? We're going off the last time we could have played football, okay? So remember that for age-wise and things, because some people will be a bit annoyed about that.
Yeah.
But the last time we could have played, and I'm putting in at my number 2, George Reynolds.
It's your choice.
I know, it's my choice. I picked it. It's a
choice.
Britballin choice. Put my stamp on it there, right? That's what I'm picking. I know he's got an offer. He's going over to Canada. Very good player. Not going to deny it. Like, really good player. Seen him play for GB. He's got legs, got absolute wheels as well. Like,
he's going to go far.
Yeah.
Basically.
I hope so. I really do. I hope all these QBs that we're talking about are going to go far. But, I mean, that leaves us one option for QB1. And it's a bit of rural pride in here again. So it's Benzie. Benzie at QB1 for me. Like, I rate him. I rate him so much. Like, I know he technically can't play junior anymore. So when we do this at the halfway point, he won't be on this list again. Yeah.
But obviously, neither is George, because George is going to be over
George.
George going to be over in Canada. So these places are open. You want to take him?
But I've got a feeling if Benzie is moving up like through the adult ranks, I reckon he could push the other group. That he throws a really nice ball effortlessly. I can't say that word. It's nice. He's got good footwork. He's got a solid frame. Like he's a quarterback that I wouldn't fear getting hit in the backfield. Do you know what I mean? Like I'd quite happily say to him, right, we're going to run a bit of option here or a bit of RPO. If you've got it there, run with it. And I like a quarterback. I know this might sound controversial to people, but when people say to quarterbacks, "Oh, just slide," I don't think Benzie'd slide. I think he'd run through someone, and I love it. I love it. Like I just look at him; he's a little unit. Like I'm like, "Oh yes, just smash him." Like I rate that. I rate it. So Benzie in at number 1. Like I can't say anymore. That's it. That's it done. That's the QB for juniors.
You'll be happy to know you haven't had any hate.
I haven't had any Royal Prides yet. I'm waiting for the Royal Prides again. We've had loads of Pride guys on, yeah. So no Royal Prides just yet.
Are we now moving on to flag?
Yeah. Do you want to take it? Or do you...
We'll have a chat about it.
Have a chat.
And then we'll jump into it.
Yeah.
Because I guess with flag, it's even, I guess, more. There's even more teams with flag than there is with contact at all levels. Because when you think about flag and how many players you need for a flag team, at the end of the day, you only really need 9 players. Like, because
you could probably get away with 8, really, couldn't you?
Yeah, like I mean, I know that I've turned up to tournaments with like 6, and we've just rolled with it. Basically, you keep your QB safe, and everyone else just plays wherever.
I think really, you wouldn't really be too bothered if you were 5, would you? Let's be honest, you wouldn't. But
I think this is where the QB though in flag plays such an important role because of the fact that it's down to this smaller field again. When you are
sorry, let me grab it. Hussein was still on our youth list, ranked at number 1.
So yeah, when it comes to flag, you're there looking at it in a way where it's like you want a QB who does have a cannon. And this is what we're talking about with the stuff when it comes to obviously with contact QBs, you want somebody who can really read the game, who knows when to pull that ball, who knows when to get the running back to fake it, who knows when to throw it, who knows when to run with it. You need a QB who can think quickly on their toes. With flag, you want somebody who's mobile. You almost want that Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, they're thrown on the run. They're pretty much thrown on the run every time.
because you want somebody that has speed that can, but also when you think about, and especially like when you look at tournaments like Big Bowl and Pink Bowl and stuff, where you've got some of the top athletes, I'm not just talking in Europe, talking around the world, like coming, like Big Bowl, especially where, Mass Flag, like all stars from the USA, like come over. You see how quickly that blitzer is running at you. That QB needs to be swift and they need to have that mobile agility. So this is where like flag QBs are that slight bit of difference. And like, obviously we've talked about the list and you've gone out and done your research and you've talked to a few people that are very in the know about flag QBs. And being a flag player myself, like within women's, I know for a fact that there are some great female QBs out there playing flag at the moment. I mean, like you look at the Coventry Cougars, like for one, like their whole team, like got the first ever like all female team to get a win in like the mixed league against an all-male team. So there are some incredible female players, and it's just showing, and it showed that from when we did the flag roundtable, like with the women's GB flag coaches, incredible women's players. But obviously when you were doing your research and chatting to people within the flag world, obviously this is where we got the list from. And it's annoying because there aren't any females on this list, but when you also look at the list, there are some incredible QBs on this list, like in the flag world.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong. Like, there is some unbelievable quarterbacks on this list. Like, there's some really good quarterbacks. I know one of them is not playing next season, so maybe some of those fringe players that we had on the list could move up into that spot.
Yeah,
we could have some brand new players that we've never heard of before. But for me, we're going to get onto this a little bit later anyways, but I think maybe we probably should have just done like a women's only flag QB ranking as well.
Yeah,
but
we know that for next time.
Yeah, we do. We know that for next time. I'm not going to lie. We know that for next time. We'll put that on there. But send me film. Send me film. Like, hey, send us film.
That's going to be the tagline of this one.
Yeah.
Send me film.
Yeah, like we're there. I'll fix that. We're there. Let's do. I'm gonna put a little scroller on there.
Send me film.
Yeah. So literally, send me film. Right. But if I get the film, I can do it. Simple as that. Like I can't. I'm not just gonna be like, oh, listen. Like I'll take someone's word for it down the road and then not have anything to back it up, because then I'd come on here and I'd get even more hate. So send us film and I can do that. I have no issue doing that. I'd love to do it. So we'll get into that another day. But flag QB for number 5. We hummed and hawed about it. So I had some opinions on it from what I'd seen. And then I asked a few other people what their opinions are of my list. Now, there's a guy I haven't put him in. Okay, so realistically, I'm going to tell you about my flag QB 6 here. Okay, so first of all, I'm telling you about my number 6, which is Alan Mead from Manchester Titans. Some people had him in my 5, but I didn't have enough footage to put him in 5. So, Alan, if you had a sent us footage, or if someone had a sent us footage of Alan, I could have been swayed, but I just didn't have enough to put him in there. So, my actual number 5. This is going to get hate in the flag community as well, by the way, because my number 5, I think, could possibly go all the way to 2. But I'm putting him in at 5 just because he's not starting.
Who is it?
It's not the starter of these clubs. So Nicky Farrell, I think that's how we say it. He would be starting if he's higher. Simple as that. Like if he would be higher if he was starting. Sorry, he's fighting a battle there with another quarterback where he deserves to be higher, but I just physically can't put him in because he's not starting. And that's just me being me. I'm sorry if you don't like it.
Who's number 4?
Number 4, we've got in there. Right, I got hate for this as well when I mentioned it to people, so I do apologise. But number 4, I've went for Alan Young. Alan Young, I've got there. I had talks with people where they said Alan Mead, Alan Young, should be behind Nikki, and it's a toss-up between the two of them. But Alan Young, for the footage that I've seen, the presence that he brings, the knowledge that he brings, I'll put him in at 4. Simple as that.
As long as you can back it up, that's...
Oh, I'm backing it up. I'll fight people. That's my list. I do what I want, right? We'll go with number 3. Number 3, we've got Charlie Williams, quality player. I think when I mentioned number 3 to people, and I said Charlie Williams, they said, yes, that's fine. That agreed. They could have probably had a few others switching places, but when I've said them on my list, people agreed with it as well. So I'm happy with that. Charlie Williams, good pick. Number 2, though. Number 2 is one of those ones that I rate number 2, and I think number 2 could be number 1, and I argued with this with people as well. So I went with Joe Cotterill. Don't mind saying it. Joe Cotterill, hell of a player. Hell of a player. Quarterback, out and out quarterback. Number 1, though, on my list is... we've had him on the show.
We have had him on the show.
Huh?
I've been coached by him, and I can back it up that one of the most knowledgeable flag players that I have ever been coached by, just to put it bluntly. Like,
go on, you announce it.
It's Vince Mackey.
Yeah. Now, I spoke to Vince. Vince said that doesn't think he's going to be playing next year. He's still going to be involved with GB and stuff, like coming back over for GB. I think he's back out in the States. But for now, he's in there. Midway point, if he doesn't play a game, he's not in there. But right now, he's in there. Quality quarterback. I think he's the coach at GB. I think he plays at GB. Like, he's a fantastic player. So I'm going with that. Simple as that. That's my list. If you haters, don't even care. Next up, Tash. This is all you.
Women's.
You're going on this.
Yeah.
Women's football now.
Women's. But I should be an expert in this, but you know.
Don't say should. Don't say should. Tash is our women's expert, and that's okay. So.
That's my new title now. I'm not. What is it? I'm not the Southern Fairy.
No. You're still the Southern Fairy. Keeping that.
So with women's, we had a massive chat about this, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because when we look at who we've got at the top 2, the top 2 could play senior level. Could play
100%.
I mean, the top one could play wherever.
High senior level.
Like wherever they wanted. Like in the world, whatever team they wanted. Like, yeah. And I think that when you I
would say number 1 is by far world class.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna say a player is world class, number 1 is world class.
Yeah, and we'll obviously get there when we get there, and people will see who it is. You probably got your guesses and assumptions already, but I think that when you're looking at women's football, like it has been going for a bit now, like, and we are slowly like gaining more and more traction. The fact that it started at 5s, it's now moving to 7s. We've got the different divisions. We're starting to see more teams crop up. We're starting to see more and more women like joining teams. We're on the edge where like, obviously Birmingham Lions are able to play 11s against like the teams in Finland. They're getting other teams over, like from America. You've got women's players now going into Europe, going over to the US, and it's like it's such an amazing thing to see. And I think that like when you look at that talent coming through, I can't wait to see what's going to happen, especially the fact that at youth and junior, we're starting to see more girls signing up to those teams to then eventually play for a women's team. Like, I can't wait for the first ever female to be accepted into the NFL Academy. Yeah. Like, I can't wait. Like, I'm going to be sitting there with a massive smile on my face because it's coming. I know it's coming. It's going to take time, but it's coming. But I do.
You're seeing women now in NCAA and things like it's happening. It is happening.
I'm so excited for it all, and it's like the development is it's moving like leaps and bounds. And the fact that just women's sport altogether is moving, it's amazing. But yeah, we'll get back onto key bees. So when it comes to key bees, obviously, like a lot of the time in women's football, a lot of women are starting not at that with the women that are in the game at the moment, they haven't started at that junior and youth level, and some of them didn't even know about American football teams even at university. So when you think about it like that, a lot of guys like coming through to those senior teams were playing at their university level, so got that coaching all the way through. A lot of women come in and it's like, cool, where do you want to play? I don't know. I've never played before. I've seen the game, or they've seen the game, or they have a boyfriend, or they have a family member, or they have somebody that's in their proximity that has played before, and they've just gone, I want to give it a go. And so you then have to coach somebody from the bottom up, basically. And as we all know, coaching QBs, we've already had it in the comments saying that like a lot of QBs are self-taught because of the fact that we don't have specialist coaches. So coaching QB is already like difficult enough. But then also trying to get that standard into a QB that hasn't been playing that long, so that they can throw what we like to say dimes. Obviously, so they can throw those dimes under pressure. Because when you've got, like, for example, like, I don't know, a GB linebacker managing to tear through your offensive line and running towards you, you've got to think quickly without getting picked, without getting sacked, etc. And trying to get that like quickly, it's difficult. So for women's, we have got a top 5. I mean, we couldn't not. There are more than 5 in the country. So we definitely have got a top 5. It's just that, like, when you kind of get to that middle of the table, it's like you start to see those standout players like coming through, and those are the players that I hope will be the role models for the future ones coming through. And I hope that even the players that are like getting the honourable mentions and the 5ths and the 4ths and the 3rds, girls that are like watching women's teams now are aspiring to be like those players, and they can be the role models and the future like for women's QBs basically in the country. So firstly, there's like a couple of honorable mentions that so nearly got into number 5. Like I was there, and like with this 5th place, I even said she didn't. I was like, it could literally be. I was like, there could be. I was like, some of the Div 1 like QBs are there, but I was like, but also some of the top teams in Div 2 are also like the QBs from their teams are also there. So firstly, like Laura Hughes from Cheshire Bears, I played against her, I think when it was the Romans, Chester Romans, when the Romans team. And I still remember her to this day because she stood out because she was a QB that would stand up for her players. So she would go and block. She knew when to throw. She knew when to hand it off. And she was super lucky as well. She had a really talented like running back. So it was like, give her the ball, you run. Like, but she read the game well. She knew where to place things. So that's why I was like, she so nearly got there, but I haven't seen her play because unfortunately I'm now down south, and this is the most frustrating thing with not being able to watch all these games anymore because I'm not seeing how they are playing.
Send me film.
And then also Wembley Stallions QB Tamara Croucher. Like I played against her the past season that we were just last on, and yeah, she puts in so much work and she's so like nearly there. But it's just that obviously when you look at the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, the 1, they're at that GB standard. They've been recognised by the GB coaches. They are kind of getting there a little bit further. But yeah, she's still in that running because she is a great QB and you can see it. So we'll start with number 5. So like I said, other 2 that I've just mentioned could have easily jumped in here. But I'm going with Warriors QB Iona Sennett. So I've known Iona actually well before American football days. Like me and her, I think we go back like to like 20. I want to say like 2012, like 20, like somewhere like around then. Like back when I used to be in my band and everything, because music scene down here, like it goes off the chain. But I remember watching her, and she is a bit of a dark horse when it comes to being a QB. Because she's so like swift in her movement. She's really like fortunate with the fact like some of the like personnel that she has around her. But you can see that she's putting in the work like behind the scenes to actually get better. So like you go onto her Instagram and every single post is basically her like out on a morning swim. Like she's there like on the field like throwing constantly. She's there like working her arm because she's like, I know that my throws, because she's got wide receivers that can sprint it down the field and that like are open and that she can get to. So it's like she is there, she's working and she's getting there. And you can see that with the Warriors because obviously your QB is one of your leaders, and if your QB is able to make something happen, and the Warriors are one of those winning teams, your QB is obviously doing something right. So then this way we go to number 4. So number 4, me and you had a big chat about this one. I mean, like we had a massive chat about all of this like list, but a big chat about this one. So we ended up with this, with the 4, the 3, the 2, and the 1 going for the GB QBs. If the GB coaches are seeing something in these players, there's obviously something special about them. And you said that you've noticed this QB in particular, with you being up north. So we went with Emma Taylor for number 4. Once again, I've mainly seen her, and I think this is where she is able to understand being like in that QB role, because she also is a dual threat as a wide receiver. And one of her like obviously biggest plays was at the Euros when like obviously Sydney Green threw the ball and like she's there like sprinting down the field, like awesome catch, perfect ball, like. But obviously that's not Emma throwing that. But because she's a dual threat and because she understands what she needs to do for her receivers, she's able to manage her skills and her techniques, because she knows what the other players that she's supposed to be feeding the ball to, what they need. So that's where Emma comes in at 4. So at 3, we've got Lil / Elizabeth Bush. So a lot of people know Lil from obviously her playing at senior level as well as playing at women's. But she is probably one of the most hardworking people I have ever met in regards to like American football. She is constantly grinding. She's constantly wanting to better herself, be the best, and work for it as well. I haven't seen like so many like gym videos and pictures in my life, because she is always there making sure that she is working so that she can build herself up and get to the top of her game. And that's one of the reasons why she's in at number 3, because she is pushing hard, because she wants to be the best. She's also played at that senior level, so she has actually had that like that further experience of 11s and being able to be a QB in that scenario. And that does help with your understanding of the game, and especially for GB, where GB is 11s, and at the moment women are only playing at 7s when they're in the when they're in the divisions. Okay, so number 2 and number 1. This is where we had the toss up, like massively. Like I went backwards and forwards like constantly, and then in the end I was like, actually no, like
I shot you right down on this. I'm sorry. I was like, I was both of them, but I was just like, one is just like, great.
I was gonna do I was gonna do a joint first, but I was like, no, okay, we've got to do the 1-2. We've got to do the 1-2. So at number 2, we have gone with Jo Kilby, which some people say might be a bit controversial, because she is probably, like, other than Phoebe, probably the biggest name in women's football. When you look at what she's done for the game, but her as a QB, I think that her ability to seamlessly run plays so quickly, the relationship she's built up with her players, the reason why Birmingham are a force to be reckoned with every single tournament is because of players like her who have been in this game for so long and who know it so well. She knows like the back of her hand. She could run that offense all day, every day, and she would easily be able to score any possible thing. Like, every single defense that I know I have to play against, like I have to play against her. Like, when you start to line up in that Birmingham, like you get your offense line, that Birmingham offense, and you're there in that defense player, you're stepping back because you know that she can throw. So you know that there's going to be deep balls, because in women's football, there's not a lot of deep balls, but you know that Jo Kilby can throw those deep balls. And if she wanted to, she could probably, on the first snap, just throw right down the line and it's gone in for a touchdown, like straight away. And I've seen her do it. And she could do that every single time. But they're not going to do that because they're a clever team, because they know they want to catch players off guard. And that's where Jo comes in with her readability and her skills. Number 1 is
I've been number 1, world class, absolute world class.
The fact that this player is in, I mean, she's going to be going to America. She has been playing in Sweden. She's been getting noticed in Sweden. I don't know. The list goes on, because you look at the performance, and once again, this is another dual threat player. So Sydney Green's going in our number 1, because when you look at her ability and her age as well, like how good she is already, and you look at like the age of like some of the women's players, and a lot of women's players are still playing, she's still got so many years to go of her like playing time. And already the fact that she's getting picked up, I mean, she's been playing for ages. This is the fortunate fact about coming from a football family. But the fact is when she was 18, she was pretty much getting, I mean, when she was 17, when she was 16, she was getting asked to be like training with the GB team. They were like, we can't obviously take you with us because you're not at the right age yet, but we want you to train with us because you are that good already. And you are like you're in your teens still. And that just shows her talent. The balls that she throws, I mean, we talked about this, they're just beautiful.
Pretty balls. Like, it's such a nice part. Oh,
yeah,
unreal.
Such a lovely, like, I mean, the throws that she was throwing, like at the Euros, like when you look at those, like it was just like soaring through the air and just landing perfectly. But also because of the fact she is and has played linebacker, and that's kind of where she was. I guess originally she was like that dual threat QB linebacker, which you don't see often. Like you don't see that at all. But having that knowledge about the defense allows you to read a defense so much better. Like this is why people say take some time to actually go and train in the position that you're going to be like going against, basically. Because if you can understand that position, it's why people say to receivers, train as DBs as well. Because if you can understand what that DB is going to do to you, you can outskill that DB. Or if you know what that receiver is going to do to you, you can outskill that receiver. And this is exactly what she does. She understands what that defense is going to do. She maneuvers herself and she maneuvers the players, and she changes and switches up the play depending on what she knows that defense is going to do due to her knowledge. And I think that that's what makes her in that number one place, because she has got so much promise. And I can't wait to see like what her and some of the other like women's players are gonna go on and do, because they're getting those call ups now, and it's amazing.
I think it's very bright. I mean, there was a few that I think in the minute still think there's a big gap from 1, 2, and 3 downwards, but I think it's still on the up. That's it. It's really like just seeing what these girls are out there doing, like gym constantly, like unbelievable. Like I would love for their effort to be in my players.
Yeah.
Like Kieran, gonna say this to you again, mate. If you want to do this, you need to go graft. Simple as that. So I hope you're not watching this podcast anymore. You need to be out on that run, sunshine. Just putting that out there. Sorry.
It's okay.
Need to get me coaching.
I think that it's the grafting that helps, and I think that this is what's kind of been shown throughout this episode so far, is that some of the people that have actually made like our top 5 are the people that are standing out because of the fact they're not just putting the work in on the field, they're being those role models off the field to the other players by actually making sure they go into the gym, they're keeping their nutrition up, they're making sure their body is actually football ready. And that's exactly like what you need from a top, especially a QB. Your QB is normally your captain, your QB is leading your offense. You need that role model in that position to actually lead a team and move a team forward.
100%. I'm nervous about the next group.
The adults.
Yeah.
This is the big one. This is the big one. Okay.
I'm nervous. This is where we're gonna get hit. Like, just gonna put it out there now, right? This is where we're gonna lose some viewers, right? So I'm gonna put this out there. These are all Prem players, right? I did have some footage sent in from some guys that aren't Prem players. There's a guy, I think it was a Shropshire, I think. Quality, could have made it in. Really could have made it in. Guy at Leeds Bobcats as well. I think looking at his film, step up. Simple as that. Step up. I know you'd be wanting to get your team in there, moving up. That's all well and good. I'll high five you and think, well done to that, mate. Brilliant. I'd like to see you move up the next level. Just, I think, hell of an arm as well. So I'm just going to put this. We've got a question here from Stan, actually. I'll let you answer that, Tash. What is the quality of women's coaching like from your experience?
It's definitely developed. Like, just like the game, the coaching has developed. I think that people are now understanding that women, it's not that we need to be coached differently, it's that you adapt your coaching style. Like, a lot of coaches have said to me, like when they've been coaching women's teams, is that women ask a lot more questions. When you coach like a senior team, you tell them, right, we're going to do like, I don't know, we're going to do a dive play. And this is what you have to do. Now do it. They'll just do it. Whereas women's, they'll say we're going to run through dive plays today, and we'll go okay, and they'll show us, and we will literally go okay. So when I step out, and we were asked more questions about those initial stages to actually make sure that we're achieving what is wanted from the coaches. And I don't know if that's the same with all teams, but I know for a fact that in my team, the coaches definitely say it's like, you girls ask a lot of questions compared to the senior team, and we're like, but we just want to make sure that we're doing in our team, like we just want to make sure we're doing it right to make sure that we're able to then get our muscle memory like in that correct space, basically.
There we go, Tash. I'm going to fix it for you right now. Upskill the coaches. Are you ready? You guys should be asking the questions what they're going to ask to them first to get the answer to correct. You know, like ask, show, tell, you know, coach. That's how it works. Thanks for listening, guys. Right. So we'll move on to men's cube.
No, I think that just quickly on the coaching point, though, I think that a lot of the coaches from like uni teams and senior teams are now actually spending more time with the women's team, because with women's, where we train on a Saturday, if somebody is willing to give up their Saturday and Sunday for football, I mean, somebody that's crazy like me, because I do for some strange reason, then you've got somebody that's actually willing to help people develop. So if you're coaching a senior team on one of the top senior teams, and then you're willing to give your time on a Saturday as well, we are so thankful, because of the fact that at the moment people aren't necessarily stepping up all the time to coach women's, and we are trying to get like more females who can't play anymore, like stepping into coaching roles, which is amazing. Like the amount of female coaches that are coming through and doing well, like Laura Moore, obviously, like some of her like accolades at the moment, like great, she's completely like right in there. But like, you want coaches that really know and understand what they're talking about, and sometimes you don't necessarily get that, but it's a start. We have people coming to coach us, and that's what we need right now. And with the standard of women's going up, I think that shows that the standard of coaching is also going up.
But yeah, coaches, give a throwback question. Always helps, you know what I mean? Ask them what they think they should be doing, or why they're doing it. Always helps. Oh, I'm just trying to stall.
Adults.
I'm just trying to stall.
Adults.
So, yeah, we've had a few other quarterbacks come in that I think were unbelievable as well. Like, I think the talent on show at the minute for quarterbacks is very, very good. So, the all-prem players that I've picked, I like the competition that they're playing against. I like the way that they do things. Number 5 is going to be so annoyed I've put him at 5. But I rate him. I really do. And I just want to see a little bit more of that air and the ball out. I like it. I've been watching your training stuff that you've been doing online, and I think it's fantastic. I think you're going to move up very soon.
I think
Angus
we can both
Cook.
take stick. I was about to say, I think we can both take stick for this one.
Yeah, Angus Cook.
Because we had a chat about this like in depth, and obviously Angus had big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
At Tamworth, like big shoes to fill. And he stepped up, and I remember doing the sideline hosting at his first Britball that he was starting QB. And I remember basically one of the key talking points was, can Angus replace Pat? Basically, that was the big talking point. And basically he proved it out on the field. I
think, if I'm honest, when we review these midway of the season, Angus could be number 1 on this list.
That's a bold statement. That is
honestly, seeing from this is a shout, right? I'm talking about from the last time we played to now, looking at the grind that he's putting in.
Yep.
I would say he's done the same, if not more, than everybody else. And I would more than likely say more hard work than everyone else.
He is the first person that I see. Like, I mean, I've got quite a few. Like, I mean, you follow people in the Britball like world on different social medias. He is the first person that I see all of the time, always offering out anybody want to come for a throw around. I want to work on my arm. Like, whoever wants to come. Like, basically, like, come and throw it with me. Come and be my receiver. Come and do this work with me. he is always the first person to like offer that up. And I think that is what makes him one of the top QBs in this country right now, because he's always willing to develop. And if you are willing to develop yourself and you're willing to put in that work, it's going to happen.
He's put the grind in. Simple as that. Like, I'm annoyed with myself that I put him here, but I've put him here based on last time out. Remember that it's last time out that I put him on this. But I really think midway through the season, when we do it again, he'll be one.
And we did have a chat to some people about this, didn't we? We can't say that, like, we did have a chat to some people and it was like the lists were kind of like matching up from like what other people are saying as well. But it is based on last season, and on the off season, like, he's one of the only people I've actually seen over the pandemic truly going at it.
Look at it, man. He's in the comments. Appreciate you guys. Just the beginning. I can promise everyone that I love you, Angus Cook.
The most humble, I think, one of the most
honestly,
stay humble, please. Like, as Kendrick Lamar would say, like, stay humble.
You know what it is, right? Angus Cook, best bit coming up on the screen right now for everybody.
Hi guys, I'm Angus Cook. I'm going to be playing quarterback for Europe, and I just thought I'd come to share something that I have had ever since I was born. And it's so hard to...
Well, you don't need to cry this time, Angus, because we picked you, right? You're in at number 5. We'll love you, Angus. Thank you. I had to play that. I love that video. It's absolutely fantastic. Right, moving on to QB4. Right, so pick this guy. People are raving about this guy. He's doing bits at the minute as well. Like, we've all seen the stuff he's doing out in the States at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was in the States. Yeah, out in the States.
Yeah.
James Cook. Another Cook. James Cook. He's a really good player. He if you need to see some highlights of him, he was thrown for some of the combine guys, and it was it was very, very nice, wasn't it? Let's be honest. I hope he had a nice time out there. He's a really good player, but I want to see more film from him to go up there higher. I think he could challenge to go higher again. I don't know what work he's doing. I'm assuming he's doing a lot. I haven't seen it. Do you know what I mean? I can't comment like I can with Angus. I'm assuming he's doing it to get to where he is.
I think the big thing with him is obviously it's kind of shown that he was doing work with what he was doing at for the players at the combine. Like, but I think that's kind of the big thing with James as well, is obviously his job.
Yeah.
With his job, obviously, you don't have that same time, but if he's still able, I mean, yes, he's training constantly, but if he's still able to do what he's doing, like, and he's doing well. So, but I do think that this list will change. And
it will
people
change.
will move up and down, like, during the season, 100%. This will
change.
And to be fair, it's been a while since we've watched live British American football, so our heads could be clouded right now.
It'll change. The list will change. I got money on my boy Angus. He's gonna grind it out. I'm telling you. I love it. Moving on to 3. So coming in at number 3. Again, I really rate this quarterback. Really, really rate this quarterback.
I mean, you wouldn't have put it at 3 if you didn't.
I know, but like I really rate him. Like massive, like help out the show as well. Like always promotes the show and stuff. Like really, really rate him.
Oh, there you go. That's another way to get in Adam's. Adam's good for promoting the show.
Has got nothing to do with why I picked him. And sidearm Sam Bloomfield. He's, you know what it is, right? Cracking quarterback, right? Absolutely cracking quarterback. Cracking leader as well. Like everyone I've spoke to he is the leader of the Titans. He gets his boys rolling. He does this. He is this guy. And I seen some footage of him slinging the ball at his first practice back as well. I think he must have threw like a 60-yard bomb, and I was like, "Yep, that's my guy, Sam. I love him. He's coming in there, number 3." You know what it is, right, Sam? You're probably gonna hate it because he always hates when we do these lists. By the way, friggin' hates it constantly. But Sam's a grinder as well. Like Sam will try to not let Angus overtake him, and Angus will try to overtake him, and I like that. I like that a lot. So
Healthy competition.
I love it. Only good for British football. So I'm very happy about that.
The moment that you can get all of the QBs trying to basically outdo each other, that's when you know that then the other players in those teams have to step up, which means then you're going to get more competition on the field, more competition between the teams, more competitively.
It's how prepared they are to work together as well. Like they'll happily like, oh, we should do this, or I'll do this drill. Like that doesn't happen often, especially in British American football. But I rate that. But number 2. Jerome Allen. I don't know if Jerome's playing this year again. I think he probably is, to be fair. But
the guy doesn't stop.
Nah, he doesn't stop. He's a machine, isn't he? Like, like
every single season, it's not sure if he's playing, and then he's playing, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's playing again." There you go.
Yeah.
He doesn't stop.
He's just quality, absolute quality. Played at a very good level, like unbelievable. And I know I've said this before about players playing up, about like the Leeds guys and stuff. Like, I'd love to see him in a different team.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Jerome in a different team.
I'd love to see a massive switch up, like with all of the teams. In all honesty, like have a look to see what certain players could actually do.
Right.
Put Jerome with the crew railroaders.
Yeah, Britballin redraft. We're doing it next week. Come on, we're doing a redraft.
If you see, because the thing is like obviously they say that one person can't change a team, but imagine if like you had one of the top QBs in the country at one of the teams that doesn't necessarily perform the best in Division 2, and see what that QB can do to change that team's like mentality, that team's push going forward. I mean, it's never going to happen, but we can dream.
I mean, I went to Div 2, you know what I mean?
You're elite.
Yeah, I'm elite. Elitely not elite. Right, so we've got Jerome at number 2. Honestly, I would like to see him in a different team. I really would, just see what he does.
It'd be interesting. Yeah. Even
number
if it was
1.
a different Prem team, but yeah.
Yeah, different Prem team. I'll take a different Prem team.
Yeah.
I'd love, right? Yeah, right. Just mix up Sam, Angus, Jerome. Just split them in different teams. I'd love to see that happen. Just mix them up a bit. The Titans now are like, right, we're following everything he does. We're not having this. Tamworth, nope, we're not doing that. And Warriors don't talk to anyway, so it's fine. No. But no, I think I'd love to see that. Just for bants, you know what I mean? It'd be good. North versus South game. We'll see what we can do. QB1. I couldn't pick anyone else for quarterback 1 because I got death threats that if I didn't pick him at QB1 for people that I think they've played against him. I don't know if they've played with him, but they were like, you need to pick this guy. This guy's QB1. And I was like, right, okay. So obviously we all know.
This was fully on you. I had nothing to do with this. So no hate my way, please.
Tash had said, right, this guy is gonna be So QB1 for us is Tristan Varney. Like, I couldn't argue when people were saying otherwise. Do you know what I mean? Like, I try to argue for all of them if I'm completely honest, but he is a good quarterback. Do you know what I mean? He's unbelievable. I think the guys in the list will also say that, but I do think this list will change come mid-season. That's as much as I've got to say. Can you tell me in the comments if I should change that list? Because I'm looking now and I'm like, should I change my list?
I mean, lots of people already said that Angus should definitely not be where he is.
I know.
So there's a lot of. I think it's going to be interesting. I think that this season, especially with the upcoming season, obviously it's not your typical season. So we're not going to see like these QBs as much, because maybe teams are going to be wanting to look at their depth chart a bit further, get some more players on the field. But also, if you've got a Premier team playing against a Div 2 team, you're probably going to want to save like your players in case you do have a Prem team like in your division or whatever.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Get your QB thrown to the rest of the receivers. Keep your QB in.
But I think for this thing though, it's going to be a different season. We're not going to see the same sort of things that we've seen previously. That's where the list can change, because there might be QBs that haven't necessarily had those standout games yet because they've been playing in Div 2, they haven't been playing against like the best in the country, but playing against the best in the country could bring out something in that team. I mean, you see it in the Premier League, like when the relegation teams beat like we're not going to talk about the Premier League with everything that's happening, but I could have gone for days about that, but you see that, and that's what could happen this season. You never know, you could see some Div 2 teams like causing some upset somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I picked Benzie at number 1 for our juniors. He's obviously moving up to senior this year. He wants to make a statement there, so he's coming for those. I'm not sure where he's playing. He's probably going to play at Bristol, but I think we've had it coming up, Marcus. Celtic's greater than Barcelona. Yeah. Right, we're not having any of that European football stuff on here. You're ruining football. Yesterday was the day football died, and by football I mean soccer. Now we're talking about British American football on here, right?
Yeah, don't. If you want
Tottenham is not
commentary,
elite either, right? Arsenal haven't won anything in years. Tottenham ain't won anything in years. You're not elite. Sod off.
if you'd like some commentary that's not as aggressive as that, it's all over my Twitter. So you know.
No, we need to be aggressive. They're taking football from us. By football, I mean soccer. I've had enough. Give her back.
I'm just waiting for the players to finally speak out when they actually are allowed to. But that's another conversation for another day.
I mean, Tottenham, elite. They haven't even got a manager. They sacked him today. Hey, any Spurs fans? See you later, boys.
Anyway, British American football.
Yeah. No, I think we'll list our sound, if I'm honest. Like, I think we've done a good. I'm happy with how we've picked them. I think there will be a lot of moving and shaking come mid-season time. Mm-hmm. One big thing to take away from all of this: send me film. Send this film. I'm going to make it out here now, right? See a little intro video at the start, how we've got all the GB stuff on and it's all running around. It all looks very nice. Send us your film. Any nice highlights in there, I'll stick it at the start. And by me sticking it at the start, I'll get our video editor to put it at the start here. So, yeah, bit of promo. We'll even put your name on it. We'll make a nice little cover photo and things. Send me film. I've had enough. I just want film, Tash.
You just want to, watch some people play American football because you can't get enough, can you?
I can't. It's not that, right? I just think if we want to develop our game, we need film.
100%, yeah. I mean, if teams could, I know that teams would pay somebody to come down. I mean, but I think the big thing is if you have somebody that is willing to come to every single game for you, what's saying that they can't stand there with a mobile phone?
The editor's got a touch. I'm gonna immediately grab that microphone in the video.
Love it.
Hey, you're sacked. We need a new editor, right? I can't do what I just said before.
But yeah, if you have people come down to your games every single week, what's saying they can't stand there with a phone out recording some stuff for you guys? Like that's the difference. Like I did it with my uni team. I didn't play in my first year at university. I was filming for the team. That's how I then went on and played. But I stood there at every single game I could with a camera that I borrowed. So
Want some film from my playing days? I've got a cracking bit of film from last season where I made the cut block of the decade against East Kilbride and was scored a touchdown. So I'll get you that if you want.
This is very true as well. So there's the Elite 11 coming up. And this actually, a lot of it, because of the fact they had to pick them, obviously over the pandemic, a lot of it was based on film. And this is why film is so important, because without film, you're not going to get into stuff like this.
Yeah,
so yeah,
100%.
Keep an eye out for the top of the Elite 11, because obviously there's going to be European QBs.
Just putting it out there as well, we didn't do uni quarterbacks.
We didn't.
I'm going to tell you the reason why I didn't want to do uni quarterbacks today. Because we didn't get to play uni football this year. And judging last year, some of the best quarterbacks that were out there, I would have had to put Marcus Yabanski in there, and I just wasn't giving him that big head. So, sorry, Marcus, not putting you. No, I'm joking. The reason that we didn't do it is because, again, we didn't get any film or anything sent in, so we couldn't do that. But if there is something that you want, then I'd be more than happy to have a look at film.
I think as well, though, with the uni stuff, like what you said, there wasn't a season this year. So some of those QBs actually would have been in the list because they were in their final years.
Yeah.
They potentially would have been in the list because over their final year, they would have had that last opportunity to really step up. They haven't now got that, which sucks. But I know that a lot of, I know for a fact from talking to some uni guys that most uni people, they don't want to leave yet, and especially they don't want to stop playing football at uni. So it wouldn't surprise me if some of them had decided, you know what, I'll just do the Masters just so I can get another year of uni football in. So some of them could be.
I know a university that do really cheap Masters, and it's Sunderland University. Come down, check us out. There's plenty of time like this to sign up if you want. No, I'm joking, but yeah, it is very, very cheap. But I will bombard you with film this season. John, you know I love it. Honestly, I'll happily do it. I am the type of person that if you want to sell film and you want it, like, let's say criticized or anything like that, I'm more than happy to do that. But if it's brilliant, I'll tell you it's brilliant. It's as simple as that. Like, if I think it needs to be at a different angle or something like that, I'll tell you. Like, I'm not gonna just criticize the stuff that I see, like oh, your footwork there was, but no, I'll tell you about the angle. I'll tell you, I'll do that. Like, I'll give up my time. I must have looked at about 40 hours of film this week from other people, like sending this stuff to get in this. But I want more film, better routes, better catching. Like, how annoying is it for a quarterback who throws an absolute dime and the receiver drops it? Don't care. Just show us the dime that you've threw.
All I'm going to say is Super Bowl this year showed how annoying it is when you throw a good pass and the receiver doesn't catch it.
It's even worse when the offensive line's like a revolving door.
Exactly.
Line up. Come on, hit my quarterback. No, but it's one of them. Who should we rank next? Give me a position. Put it in the comments and we'll sort that next. But for now, we're going to go because it's time.
It's time. I need to eat.
Me too. I'm clamming.
After an hour and a half drive, I was like, I just want to eat some food, but I've got this to do. So that's the first time I've chosen anything over food. Like,
Tash, look in the top corner. Look.
I know.
Yeah, you should love that. I took a solid 4.5 minutes for me to make that, by the way. So you should be very long snappers. Oh, I was having a conversation about long snapper. I'm sorry, this is going to be another 3 hours. Tash, you can leave if you want.
Oh, I'm going to go, yeah.
No, I'm joking. I was talking about this the other week, right? I think we need to start putting on in this country a clinic for long snappers. I really, really think that is going to be the best way for us to get guys into college is a primary position as a long snapper. And then if you've got another position that you can play, bonus. Because I think that is a specialist position everyone needs and no one's freaking practicing it as much. If you've got a ball at home, you don't know what position you play, practice long snapping. please. And then come play for Gateshead or Sunderland Uni. And I love you forever. But apart from that, we're going to go. Tash, it's been great to have you on again, as usual. I hope we can carry this on.
Of course. Every Monday.
I'm really sorry about your long drive.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I chose it. It was my choice.
I don't know. I do.
I made my choice and I'll lie in it.
Oh, people want the special teams. Do a top special team players kick, punt, long snap. I like that idea, but it's on a uni. We onside kick every time we don't punt, so none of my guys are going to be in that list.
I think the big thing with special teams is what team in the UK actually has a complete special teams unit that isn't just guys picked from their offense and defense that they know can double up because they've got the stamina.
Or just, well, yeah.
Or they just go find, they just go look at, like, for example, at uni, they just go look at the men's football team and they're like, the goalkeeper's got a kick on him, let's get him in the team.
Yeah, or they'll go on the day of the game, they'll go, right, special teams, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right, you're on special teams.
I'll just say I started on special teams. That's saying something.
You know what it is? I like punting. I've done that from quarterback just because I remember I'd called a play and then realised that it was 4th down one time and then was like, actually, change it, we're punting. I was like, it's 4th and 45 or something. We're going to punt.
I do agree, though, that if we did do for the next one, if we did do a ranking of special teams, it would mean that we might actually be able to see which teams are putting the effort into developing their special teams and not just doing it in the odd practice where they're just saying, this is how you do kick return, this is how you do kick off, and we're not going to kick field goals this year, we're only going to go for 2 points. So you will actually see what teams are developing it. So
I've got an idea, Tash. I've got an idea, right?
Okay, what's your idea?
I'll pay for this, right? Because I'm going to end up spending money here. But, right, here it is. I will send you, right, some Britballin merch, right?
Okay. What, the people or me?
I'm sending you anyways, Tash. But for the people sending filming, the best long snapper in the country, I will send you some Britballin merch, and the best field goal kicker in the country. You need to send the film to me, and I will send you some merch for that.
I'm just going to go work on the field goals.
Get me the film. Send us the footage so I tell you what, go one better. Talk to the camera. Let me know how you do it. Give me a demonstration video on what you're doing. And I will send you some Britballin merch.
How could you refuse that offer?
I mean, I think the missus, if she takes a bank card off us, it might not happen, but we'll see what happens.
So you might or you might not get.
Nah, you will definitely. I'll put it out there. I promise you, I will send you some Britballin merch.
Yeah, because what you'll be getting is the merch that's supposed to be for me. So if you have a TC,
in the post. Nah, honestly, thanks very much for tuning in, guys. We are going to do a shoot now, but tag your special teamers in here. Tell them to click on it and send us the film. Take care, guys.